Hi there, this is Mark, and I'm doing the reading from the Golden Present Daily Inspirational Readings by Swami Satchidananda, and this is for today, June 9th. Okay. You don't have to be allergic to anything. If you keep the body healthy, the body can adjust to any weather. You won't have to complain about the outside atmosphere. Many people complain about allergies. They are always saying, I'm allergic to this, allergic to that. Allergy is not something coming from outside. Allergy comes from lack of health. If your body is strong enough, you don't have to be allergic to anything. Think of all the people who live in a tropical climate where there is heat and humidity. Fortunately, the body is able to accept any condition, to withstand and adapt because it's made that way. How many people poison their systems and their bodies accept it? The body even accepts smoking and drinking. Keep the body in good shape. That means giving it the proper exercise and eating the right food in the right quantity. Above all, have the proper thoughts. If you constantly complain of disease, you will have disease. As you think, so you become. If you think, I am weak, I am weak, I am weak, you are certainly going to be weak. Never allow the mind to worry about anything. Wow, that's a tall order. I could say a lot about this reading. I feel like this has been a really powerful teaching for me through my life and something to reflect on, where at different times, I was poisoning my body. And amazing how our bodies can adapt and adjust to all kinds of situations, and how the body can also heal from all kinds of different misuse and poor diets and, consuming things that are not healthy and not what the body wants. It's sort of like, pouring Coca-Cola on a plant and hoping that it'll grow, thinking, well, at least there's some water in that, and it'll probably be okay for a little while, and then it'll eventually will have problems. But if you start to add water again and clean that out, it has the potential to be able to regrow. And our bodies are like that, our lungs are like that, our stomachs are like that. We have the ability to heal. And I love that is fully understood in our yogic path, somewhat understood in our Western model, and very much understood in the Eastern model, which is, again, built off of thousands of years of practice. I think this can be triggering to hear, we don't have to be allergic to anything. It's like, what do you mean? I've been allergic to this all my life, or I've had these allergies all my life, or it's in my family and we're all just this way. And what Swami Satchidananda speaks about, and it's written about in other scriptures, and there are some people in medical science today who will say this, that over 95% of ailments that we would often consider hereditary are not. And that much of this can change if we make a lifestyle change or a change in our diet and other habits. The reason a lot of them don't change is because we continue the habits of our family. We continue the habits from everything from diet to attitude to outlook. If we can do something that helps us make a great shift and a change to recognize that we are meant to thrive, we have the ability to heal and to essentially reform our being. That empowerment has the ability to keep moving us forward in a way that allows us to be our healthiest and best self. But I will say, we are human. We have a very, most of us probably have very busy schedules, very busy life, a lot of imprinting in our psyches, what could be part of the conversation of what samskaras are in Sanskrit. that we continue to carry forward. And these can be very hard to even identify, let alone change. But with the practice, an introspective practice like yoga and meditation, we can clear away a lot of what the ego is jumping in to try to have us listen to. And we can start to listen to the highest self and to tap into a connection that is clear of all of these fluctuations and build a relationship with that rather than to continually build a relationship with the habitual patterns that we feel loyal to. And this can be very challenging, and again, like I said, even triggering, because then we might ask, well, who am I if I take away all these things? What would life look like if I didn't believe this set of beliefs? Will I no longer be honoring my family? Will I even know that it's possible to live a life in a very different way? If you've relied on eating a certain way, drinking a certain thing, behaving a certain way, responding a certain way, reacting, this can be very challenging, because then it's, in essence, forcing us to look inward to who are we truly. What I'm grateful for in the practice is that there's not this standard that we're supposed to get to. The practice asks us to look inside, to learn how to discern for ourselves, to learn to listen to what feels right in that moment. And we do our best. And then it's possible in the next moment we make another good choice that feels like, oh, you know what? That's where I understood myself to be at that point in my life. Now with new life experience, with more time with my practice, with more introspection, I actually see something new and I can move from here. And I fully honor that process, and I've witnessed that in my own life where I thought this was the way to have fun and be healthy. And then I realized actually that was destructive. Now I see this is what feels to be good and healthy and fun. And that means, practicing yoga, reading scriptures, diving into some of these practices that I, want to learn more about. It stimulates a part of my brain that helps me feel very engaged with life, very active, because it all has application to help me understand and make sense of things as best I can right now. And I imagine at some point, down the road, even tomorrow, I may have a different perspective. It's even why I do these readings. I'm kind of checking in with myself to see how much of this I understand, knowing at some point more will be revealed. And I love that process of life, and I feel that it's, that kind of continual movement and unfolding that helps me keep my mind strong, my body strong, and engaged, in a way with life in a way that I know my heart has longed for. Even when I was doing some of the other behaviors, when I was smoking and I was drinking and a lot of other things that weren't the healthiest, eating a lot of sugar. I'm currently on a refined sugar detox. And a month ago, I don't think I could have done it. But right now I feel inspired, and I'm, truly grateful for that. One of the main things I've learned also in the teachings through, and this is during my basic teacher training from Dr. Amrita, she spoke about, the yogic diet, and it's what are things that are really what the body craves. And here's the ideal, and these are recommendations, and here's why. This is good for our heart health, this is good for brain health, etc. And what she said was, above all else, have good thoughts while you're eating. Allow yourself to have gratitude for whatever it is that you're choosing, because in that moment you're choosing that to nourish yourself. And that seems like that's the best choice, because there it is, you're eating it. So rather than fight yourself and say, oh, I know I shouldn't be eating this, or oh, I know this is bad for me, rather than to build that relationship with the things that we are bringing into the body, can we honor it for as it is and say, I'm grateful that I even have something that my body will figure out how to sustain me, that my body is intelligent enough that it will do its best, and then give me signals if there is a reason for me to make changes. That way we build a much more harmonious relationship rather than a conflicted one. That way we start to recognize the energies of gratitude and appreciation for all that is. And as Swami Satchidananda did say in this reading, he said, above all, have the proper thoughts. And that's again why a practice of yoga, a meditative practice that can create a calming effect through the nervous system, through the mind body, can allow us, can have the potential for us to have those proper thoughts and to clear away all the other thoughts, to navigate through them, knowing they're always going to be there, or likely a lot of them are going to be there. We have 50 to 70,000 thoughts that flood the mind every day. So not trying to make them go away, but to know we can navigate through them and that we can act on the thoughts that feel positive and useful. We can brush aside the ones that just tend to pass through the mind space. And we build more and more strength and skill as we build our practice. So thanks for taking time to let this be a practice. And I'm grateful that you're watching this, and I hope it was useful. Enjoy the rest of your day. See you tomorrow.